Okay, so let's just jump right in. Why on earth would a luxury brand like Balenciaga have its models walk through a giant, apocalyptic mud pit? I mean, it just doesn't make any sense. Or does it?
And it's not just them, right? Think about Coperni literally spray painting a dress onto Bella Hadid live on the runway. Or Jacquemus flying everyone out to the middle of a lavender field in Provence. What is going on with fashion?
Well, the answer is actually pretty simple, and it points to this huge change in the industry. The secret is, it's not really just about the clothes anymore.
And this brings us to the key concept for this whole explainer: space as media. The big idea here is that physical places, like runways and stores, they've stopped being just places to sell you something. They've turned into full-on broadcast studios, designed to beam a brand's story out to millions of people watching online.
So now that we have that key idea, let's really dig into fashion's new reality and figure out exactly why space is becoming the new media.
To get this, we really have to understand this fundamental shift, this move away from just buying stuff to broadcasting an idea.
And this slide just lays it out perfectly. You know, the old way was all about the transaction, selling a product to one person who is physically in the room. But the new goal, it's all about transmission, using that same room as a content studio to create a moment for millions watching on their phones.
So, let's see how this actually plays out in the real world. We're going to look at three key areas: runways, pop-ups, and these big brand exhibitions.
Honestly, the story of the runway tells you everything you need to know. Back in the 90s, you had these small, exclusive salon shows just for buyers, all about the clothes. Then the 2000s hit, you get bloggers, you get live streaming, and suddenly it's about creating buzz. But now, today, the runway is a straight-up content studio. It's designed for the smartphone screen, and the set itself is often the main character. And then, off the runway, you've got the rise of what's called ephemeral retail. Think about it. You can buy anything you want online, so why would you go to a physical store? Well, brands create these temporary spaces that give you a reason. They create urgency, this feeling that you have to be there now, or you're going to miss out.
And this is a great way to see the two main flavors of that. You've got the pop-up, which is fun, it's playful, and yeah, it's designed to sell stuff and get you to post online. But then you have the exhibition. That's more like a museum, it's artistic, it's about building prestige and educating you on the brand's history. Success for them isn't sales, it's how many people showed up and what the critics said.
Okay, so if the goal is to get broadcast, how do brands make sure people actually, share this stuff? Don't worry, there's a playbook for that.
And it all boils down to this one simple, brutal rule of the internet age. If it's not shareable, it didn't happen. Your phone is now their most important marketing tool, and these spaces are designed specifically to get you to use it.
So let's get into the secret sauce. Here are the 3 fundamental rules for making a space go viral, for creating that perfect, must-share, Instagrammable moment.
Rule number 1, hyper-reality. The whole point is to just shatter your sense of the everyday. Because let's be real, you don't stop scrolling to look at something normal. This is the Balenciaga mud pit. This is the Jacquemus lavender field. They do it with crazy scale, like giant objects, or intense single-color rooms, or just something completely unexpected. It has to be a visual shock.
All right, rule number 2, the hero shot. And this is actually genius. The goal isn't just to make the space look good, it's to make you look good in the space. Because people want to share photos of themselves looking amazing. So brands build in perfect, flattering, studio-quality lighting. They put mirrors everywhere, and they design these clean photo zones so you can get the perfect shot.
And finally, rule 3 is immersive interactivity. Social media has moved from still photos to video, to TikTok and Reels, so a static space isn't enough anymore. You need movement. Remember that Caperti dress? It wasn't the final dress that went viral. It was the act of spray painting it. So you see moving sculptures, hidden doors, things you can touch and play with. You can't just be a spectator. You have to participate.
So, what happens when a brand just completely masters all 3 of these rules? Well, for that, let's look at the perfect case study, the eyewear brand Gentle Monster.
Their whole strategy is called Weird Beauty. And basically, you walk into one of their stores and it feels like a bizarre modern art gallery. You've got these giant robots, weird kinetic sculptures, and oh yeah, somewhere over in the corner they happen to sell some glasses. And the result is just mind-blowing. The store itself becomes their best advertisement. People literally line up outside just to go in and take pictures and videos for their social media, whether or not they're even thinking about buying glasses. The space is the marketing campaign.
And that really brings us right back to this great shift. You see, in old-school retail, the only thing that mattered was sales per square foot. The customer was just a passive consumer. But in this new model, the number one goal is engagement, how many shares you get per visit. And that means the customer isn't a consumer anymore. They'd become an active content creator for the brand.
Which kind of leaves us with one last question to think about. When every space we enter is designed to be a stage for our digital lives, what are we actually performing for? Are we there for the real-life experience itself, or just for the posts we're going to make about it later?